It's Friday. Got to get my groove on. Chico, we're going to get our groove on today. It is the morning run. We got Colorado's offense coordinator, Coach Marion, will be joining us live. We got some other shiggity we got to get into as well. Shout out to the runners out there. Chico, tighten your braids. It's the morning run.
Yes, indeed. Wake your up.
Oh, wake them up. Wake up. Chico, wake their ass up, man.
Whether it's morning time, evening time, whatever it is, you still laying down. It's time to get up. It's about that time. If I'm up and I'm the latest in America, get up.
Yeah.
I don't know, get up. Let's go. It
If
is
you
the
up,
morning run.
everybody's supposed to be up. At least laying on their side by now.
At least laying on their side, looking at their phone, contemplating like, damn, do I want to do this? Yes, you want to do this. Get on up. All right, runners, mount up. It is the morning run. Uncle Neely, Big Dog Chico got a special show today. Big time interview with Coach BRENNAN MARION, offensive coordinator, Colorado Buffaloes. Y'all know him. I know him. We all know him. You know, so we'll get into his story and a lot more, but a little bit in this show. So, Unc, you want to talk about something else? Let's get into it. What's happening? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing good, brother. You know, late night pause with Chico with Big Mama last night, like off the damn chain, went every which way but loose. Shout out to the runners in the chat. I see Debbie Garcia from Waco, Texas checking in. Make sure you let us know you're tapping in from so we can let Coach Marion know where all the eyeballs are that are watching this interview, because I'm really looking forward to this interview, Chico. But I got to tell you something else I'm looking forward to. We talked about it last time on the morning run, and I really want to give a shout out to Adam Silva, the commissioner of the NBA, who watches the show.
Mm-hmm.
Right after we did the show, he said, man, Neely, right, I got to do something about this tanking.
Yeah.
It's coming, Chico. The integrity of the league is at stake. They have to do something.
Yeah. He went out there. He told all 30, all the teams in the league, you know, hey man, can't be doing this, dog. Can't be doing this. What do you think he's gonna come up with though?
You know, I don't think it's gonna be as extreme as some people have recommended, like just not having a draft. But I think it's going to be some stuff with revenue sharing. I think it's going to be some stuff with fines and penalties and even losing draft picks. I think there's even going to be a restructuring of, hey, look here, man. If you pick in the top 5 in year 1, you can't pick in the top 5 again in year 2 and 3. Like you can't just stay sorry. You got to do it some other kind of way. Some kind of way they're going to figure out a solution where it's going to make you say, you know what? We're better off just trying to play the right way instead of trying to tank for a draft pick. Because I have still, Chico, I haven't seen any evidence that it works. But if you keep on doing this and it becomes a third of the league doing it, and then on top of the gambling scandals, I don't think the NBA can survive that many hits and still keep viewership of people who want to trust and believe in the product.
Yeah, well, I like one of the committee, or one of the things that came out of the committee meeting, according to this post, saying that one of the things could be teams can't pick top 4 the year after making the conference finals. I like that.
That's
like
good.
seeing like a team like OKC go win and then they picking it in the top 4. Like, now what we doing? Kind of like, but that's how the Lakers got James Worthy back in the day too. You know, they won a championship, then got the top pick, but that was via trade. But still, at the same time, you really don't want to see that. So a lot of things have been proposed. We'll see where that goes. But yeah, he does watch the show, because as soon as we discussed it, he came out and said it. So shout out to him.
He did everything but call our name. He
They
did.
say
Hey, commissioner, you can say our name, dog. Everybody else say it.
They say he's a players commissioner, right? So hey,
Yeah.
you know, shout out to him.
Speaking of a players commissioner, man, we're going to be joined by a players coach, and I can't wait to ask him what that means to him in the world. Shout out to Coach Carl Reed is in the chat. St. Louis, man. Coach Reed is in the building. Because I'm gonna tell you, Chico, and you already know this, man. When Coach Prime does something, it ain't random. Like, it's intentional, and it has thought process to it and strategic. And that's what I love about this hire and Coach Marion as OC. You know, we have found out that when you score over 30 points a game, we win. You bring in the guy that's scoring 35 a game. And so we're going to get to hear from the man himself today. So if y'all got some questions in the chat, make sure you
Excited.
get ready to give me in. And if you
Yeah,
make
y'all
them a
make sure y'all
super
put them
chat,
in
you're
there.
going to see them.
Absolutely. Make him a super chat to get it on the show. I know y'all have questions about how he's going to run the offense, the players in his offense, who's going to be starting here or there. Y'all put that in the chat so y'all can get to it where he can answer it or not. You understand me? Shout out to Teddy Bridgewater, Unc. And
Hey, another rule changer.
Mm, there it is right there. Florida Senate approved the Teddy Bridgewater Act, easily allowing K through 12 head coaches to spend up to $15,000 per year on student athletes' food, transportation, recovery services, and similar needs with required reporting. All right, what you think about that?
You know, man, it's
Suspended.
amazing the stuff that we have to have rules for, right?
Mhm.
Here's a brother in Teddy Bridgewater hired in his community to coach a team, giving kids rides home, making sure they go home on an empty stomach, making sure they got something to eat, and then ended up getting punished for just doing the right thing, right?
Yeah,
And so, as Coach Reed just said right there, man, common sense prevailed, with this. Like, you have to allow these coaches and stop thinking everybody cheating and up to something nefarious. Hey, if you play for Teddy, he'll feed you after practice. Man, he feed 100 kids, man.
what? Yeah, that's crazy. To even have to
Coach
go
Marion
through that,
talks
man.
about when a white family was picking him up from the hood, and he would go eat with them after practice. And he's like, "Man, I ain't never seen people sit at the dinner table and eat and talk
Hmm.
about the day."
Right.
It's like, man, there are people out there with needs participating in these organized sports, and here you have a coach who has the means and out of the wherewithal of his good heart was trying to do something and got punished for it.
Yeah. Sad situation, man. But congrats to him. Yeah, we saw him come back and play professional football this year. Not just Phillip Rivers, or that was Teddy Bridgewater this past season with the Bucks, right?
Yeah.
Damn, that was real fast. Was able to come back and do that. Shout out to him. I'm waiting for my opportunity to come back too. Anybody want me to line up?
Chico, like
Let's
I told you
go.
before, man, I know we're gonna talk with Coach Marion. Your issue is not availability. Your issue is not eligibility. Your issue is ability. Chico, you're old. Let it go.
Man, come on, man. We gotta ask a real guy who has an eye for talent.
He
You know,
does.
we'll bring on Coach Marion. Let's do
Let's
that,
do.
man.
Man,
I'd
well,
like
look,
to get
man.
one
So
of those
you
Uncle Neil
people
interviews.
have visited the Eiffel Tower and never met the architect. People have visited the Empire State Building and never seen the architect. You about to meet the architect of the Go offense, Chico.
He ain't lying.
Offense coordinator, Coach Brennan Marion, is with us today. Morning Run. Morning Run. Y'all give him a shout out. Coach Marion.
That's right.
How you
Let's go,
doing?
baby.
What's up, baby? Y'all good?
Yes, sir.
Coach, how you
Hey,
doing?
good, man. I can't complain. Blessed.
Hey, man.
Coach,
Nice.
I knew you was gonna show up in your hat, so I brought Chico his hat. He well live one like that though,
Don't worry
Coach.
about that. Don't worry. You see who's wearing it right, Coach. You see who's wearing it right, Coach. He find every excuse to put that hat on during the show, so don't worry about it. Just let him do his thing.
No doubt. No doubt. Let
Coach,
them
how
look.
you feeling, man? How's Boulder treating you? How's the adjustment going?
It's been awesome, man. I think the community, the players, Coach Prime, administration, like everybody's been, open arms, supporting me and my family and whatever we need to, be comfortable here and get rolling in Boulder. So, and it's beautiful out here. Like, I mean, it's great. The views out here are crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coach, I'd always thought I was a water guy, right? I need to look out my window and see water. But when you get a touch of those mountains, man, particularly got the snow caps on them, look like you're living in a postcard.
No doubt, no doubt. It looked like like someone painted the screen, and you just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you've been all over thanks to your coaching career. What's been one of your favorite places that you've been as far as picturesque and just living?
well, I was blessed during COVID. I got to coach at University of Hawaii, and so
Yeah, I hear.
we weren't even allowed to work most days. So getting a chance to experience like the different islands. I always tell people like if you don't believe in God, like if you're struggling with your relationship with God, you need to go to Hawaii because it's crazy how the rainbow touches from like it. You can't even explain the stuff that you see in Hawaii. Like it,
Yeah.
you just got to be out there. So I'd say that's probably the best place that I lived as far as getting a chance to live in Hawaii and get paid for it. During COVID, that was crazy.
Yeah.
I
Man,
know
you
it's
was
right
out
up
here doing it.
Chico Alley. Chico is in Hawaii, Coach.
No, I live here. Yeah, definitely. So you
There,
Yep, I'm out here, Oahu. So
Yeah,
you were
that's where I'm
here
from.
while I was one of the essential workers on the island, and it was pretty empty out here too. So
Yeah.
crazy.
So you get to experience during that time you could drive everywhere. You could
Drive.
drive the whole island in 2 hours, stop at every little
Right.
spot, and keep moving. So
Yep, definitely. Great experience, man. Great experience. So, hey, we're glad to have you on, man. We appreciate you joining us, taking time. Is that a hat by Parker? Someone right there.
no,
Shop there.
not this one, but Parker did hook me up. Yeah, he got me right. This one is from I got this in Austin, a little beaver hat in Austin.
Hmm,
This is
nice.
old. So this we've been through a lot. You know what I mean? She been holding me down for a while.
Yeah. Beaver will do that. Coach, let me ask you this, man. Coach Prime, as I was teasing up before you got on, he doesn't do anything random, right? Like, he is a thought out guy, strategic guy. Everything has an intent and purpose. When you get that call from him and you sit down with him and you guys come to agreement that you're going to be his OC, what was that conversation and process like, and those conversations with Coach Prime?
Yeah, really just the alignment of, one, how we love and care about the players, discipline, accountability. That's kind of been my calling card, claim to fame, and football is, taking the kids that nobody wanted and then, making them, putting that battery in their back and, finding a way to get them where they were supposed to go, give them that support to get that done. And then, schematically, coach looked at the scheme and, a lot of guys who are like NFL guys and older guys, when they look at our scheme, they get excited, when they look at the go-go offense, because it's very multiple. You can do a lot of things and it has everything that's worked in football, for the test of time of football. It has a lot of like everything that's like, oh, that's hard to defend, or oh, that's a good, you know what I mean? Like something that, triggers, if you really know ball, it'll trigger your brain to go like, man, there's a lot of good things in there. And then lastly, it was just about like, he had a plan for me. It wasn't just like, come here, help me. It was like, I'm gonna help you too. And, that was kind of one of the first head coaches that I worked for that actually had a plan for me as well. It wasn't just, come help the team be better. It was, let's help the team be better, and I'm gonna help you get to where you want to go. And so to me, we were just vertically aligned, and it connected well.
Yeah, coach has always said, man, that he wants people around him to elevate. Like, you see a lot of staffs take place in the nation, and there's bad blood when somebody moves up and moves out. And coach will tell you that, hey, I don't want you to be around me forever. I want you to elevate. So while we work together, and that's the other thing he says, never, don't ever tell somebody you work for me, you work with me. Because we got to make sure your goals are in alignment too.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen both sides of it, right? I've been in this game with my college coaches who coach me, and them be excited when I get a opportunity and have a chance to go somewhere, and then I've been places where, I have a big interview come up and it's like, you sure you want to go to that, or why are you doing that, or like, so you be on both sides of it, and for me, it's hard to say like, we're competitors, right? And we're all trying to get to the highest level. And we're always trying to do every day. We're trying to get better and process. And then when somebody who does a good job for you, my thing is like, if you did a great job where you're at, that's how you get another job. I've been
Mhm.
promoted. I've been blessed to be promoted every single year that I've coached football. Somebody's offered me a job without a resume, without a friend calling them. Like, somebody's offered me a job. And, in my mind, that means I did a good job for you. Right. And so some people need to see that that's a good thing. Not everybody sees that that's a great thing.
Right.
35 points a game will make the phone ring, coach.
No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah,
Hopefully we get to 40 this year. That's the goal.
that's right. Right. Y'all hear that out there.
Yeah.
Hey, but see, does that make it difficult though, coach, having a family and getting those calls, and now you gotta say, damn, do I really want to move across country, or do I want to move here? Or is it just about elevating your career at the end of the day?
Well, it's hard in the fact that like you can't be at everything, right? Like you don't get to experience everything with your family. That's the hard part, right? The
Mhm.
good part is you get to experience things that you never would have experienced if you weren't elevating and moving up and being in certain situations. Like my son getting to throw out the first pitch at the A's game because I'm the head coach of Sacramento State. That would have never
Right.
happened if I didn't take that jet, right? Like there's a lot of things that happen, right? My son getting to fly on a private jet and come to a game, because we're at the University of Texas, right? Like in Jerry Jones, Charlotte and them, they put my son on the private jet to come to the game, right? Like there's a lot of things that you would not get to experience if you weren't elevating. If I would have stayed, because my goal was to be a high school head coach, right? Like I just wanted to be a high school head coach. I had a whole bunch of kids living with me and families taking care of people.
Wow.
But God has a funny way of forcing you to elevate. God will elevate you even if you don't want to elevate sometimes. Like I got suspended for taking kids out of class for, college coaches coming. And so when that happened, I was like, you know what? I'm going to listen to some of these guys that told me I should coach college and I should be a college coach. And I started following them and got a job. Like that's really how I got into college football. Like I didn't even want to go. I had no desire to be a college football coach. Right. I didn't even have a desire to be a coach, to be honest with you. That happened because I got hurt. I tore my ACL and that's got me into coaching. So, like sometimes it's just a God thing. You know what I mean? I'm still living off my grandma's prayers. I can't fail even if I wanted to.
Say that.
Just keep winning.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Wow.
Coach, you talked about the excitement, from players and fans as well, because that go-go offense is going to involve a lot of people, involves innovation. In those conversations with Coach Prime, because one thing I know about my brother, Coach Prime, is that when you're in charge of something, you're in charge of something. It's yours, and he's there to aid it where he does. But in those conversations with him, man, what was it like hearing from him that this is going to be your offense? You got full rights to innovate. Just go cook. Do what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because me and Coach Prime have some similar, my man Carl Reed, we got some similar people that know of us or know each other. Like Coach Prime knew like he was gonna have to tell me stop before he had to tell me go. Like
yeah.
I'm one of them people. If you give me a job, I'm trying to be best in the country at the job. You don't got to check on me. You don't got to give me a motivational speech. You don't got to, like, I'm at work. You know what I mean? And so you're going to have to tell me, like, all right, you chill, B. Like, that's too, like, right? Before you're going to have to tell me to, like, work on something or, because, like, I'm hungry. You know what I mean? Like, I always say, like, you can't come from Section 8 and not be hungry. Like, like, I was poor for 19 years of my life. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't going back. So, for me and Coach Prime, he knows like Marion got that over there. Like he gonna make sure they right. Like, and I think that's the comfort level that he had with me was, he doesn't. This ain't my retirement job. This ain't a. I'll help you for a year. This is dog. I'm all in. You give me a task and I'm gonna accomplish it.
Exactly. What has to be true for your offense to be at its peak this year, or for you to say this has been a success?
Win. Gotta win games. I mean,
ultimately,
you gotta. I always say like our offense is going to give us a chance to be a championship offense, to be in the conference championship game, right? To give us a chance to be successful. Like we're about winning, whatever personnel that takes. If we have to slow down the game, if we have to come out, whatever we got to do to give the kids a chance to win the game in the fourth quarter, that's what we're going to do as an offense, right? So every year the offense has changed and morphed into different things and became different things just from the standpoint of like, are we trying to win? Like we're not just trying to call cool plays and go out of control tempo, go as fast as we can and say we scored, right? There's a lot of people who win 5-6 games every year and everybody says their offense is how cool their offense is, but they ain't winning nothing, right? Like we're trying to ultimately win, right? And so we have to put together a plan and a strategy to make sure that we put our team in a situation to look up at the end of the season, right? I always tell the kids at the beginning of the year, one great year can change our life. Confetti falling down, right? That's what we're trying to look for as far as our offense. We're trying to get ourselves to the conference championship game, be conference champions, and then move from there, right? If we dominate our conference, obviously that gives us an opportunity to be in postseason play.
Okay, it gives another opportunity for your son to be on their private jet going to Jerry World on a Friday night this year. Coach, we got a super chat question for you from Carlos J. 999. Appreciate that super, Carlos. Coach, you've had to grow through adversity both personally and professionally. What was the turning point for you where you said, I'm owning this moment, and then it just took off. Appreciate that question, Jay.
Yeah, really, when Coach London gave me the opportunity at Howard to be the OC at Howard, that's when I knew kind of my life was going to be different. The dream had got ugly when I went into college football the first year. I'm thinking like, okay, I GA for a year, boom, I'm gonna get elevated. I'm gonna be this. I'm gonna be on the rise, and that didn't happen. I had to go coach D2 for a year. I lived in a dorm. I was going through a divorce. Lived in a dorm. Made like 15,000, less than that, I believe. It was probably like 10,000, right? And so living in a dorm, struggling, like, man, I might have to go back to being a high school head coach. I even actually started applying for high school head coaching jobs. Like, man, I might go back to being a high school coach.
Yeah.
And it's funny how, I always say your gift will make room for you, and like the steps you take and how you treat people and what you do, right? All those little steps matter. So when I was a high school head coach, I went to the University of Virginia to a 7-on-7 tournament. I took my team, Waynesboro High School, which at the time they were an 0-10 team the year before I got the job. And so I told Coach London, I'm like, Coach, my team's, not very good. It's not like we're, at the tournament, they had like DeMatha, Gonzaga, McNamara, like they had these real teams. And I'm like, I just want to be in the 7-on-7 tournament. If you give us an opportunity, like I appreciate it. And he's like, yeah, if a team dropped out, you guys can be in there. And so we made it to the championship bracket. We didn't win, but we made it there. And he was like, man, you did that with these kids? Like, we didn't have one Division I player on the team, right? He was like, you're doing that with these kids? One day I'm going to hire you. And I was like, okay, all right, I hear you. And so the turning point was I was at a Division II school, Oklahoma Baptist. And at the end of that season, man, that was the hardest season of my life. I've never won 2 games. We won 1 game, I think 1 or 2 games in the season. They had just transitioned from a Christian school to Division II school. So like an NAIA school to a Division II school. So our roster was not even close to who we were playing. Right. But at my position, like every year I've been blessed, my position, we had an All-American running back. Right. So Isaiah Mallory from Aledo, Texas, he was an All-American running back for me. And, at the end of that season, I'm just praying, I'm fasting. I'm like, God, like, I know this ain't, like, you ain't gonna send me here to fail. Like, I know this ain't the end result here. So my special teams coordinator on the Dolphins when I was a player gave me a job at Central Michigan, Coach Bonamango. He said, hey, whatever I don't know what position you're gonna coach yet, but like we got you somewhere. Like I like the work that you're doing. I know you know ball. All right. And I like the way you showed up in meetings, sat in the front row, like took notes. I appreciate that. So he gave me a job. And then like a week later, Mike London calls me and goes, hey man, you still running that high school offense? And I'm like, you still running that offense that you was running? I was like, yeah, coach, I can run it. He was like, all right, give me some paperwork on it. And I sent him some paperwork. I mean, I made a whole detailed PowerPoint presentation. I mean, it was thorough, like all the way through, like how I would coach, how I would teach, how I work with coaches. And then boom, he gets me the job at Howard. And then the first game of the year, we have the biggest upset in college football history against UNLV. Yeah. And we Cam Newton's little brother, Kayla Newton, who was a freshman All-American that year. And we set the world on fire, and everybody's like, the go-go offense. That was because of DC. But that was the same offense I was running in high school. Right. And so that was the turning point for me right there. That's when I knew, like, okay, all right, I'm here now. Like they
that's a huge
I'll
upset.
tell you this, Coach. There's a lot of folks in the building you're in who have that in common with the HBCU giving them their start. But I got to get an extra tip of the cap for you, because if you were at Howard and you were running offense, that meant my good friend Jay Walker wouldn't leave you the hell alone. I'm sure he was trying to call you and tell you every day what to do, because he don't know how to be quiet.
He wanted that pro style offense. I said, baby, I got a little bit of pro style, and I got a little bit of, what they call the go-go now. I got a little bit of everything for you.
Yeah. Well, it started out, from what I've heard, correct me if I'm wrong, started out, option based, and then you add your passing offense and concepts in there. Talk about how has evolved since the Howard days.
Well, really, when I was running in high school, it was like a passing offense. We were like 10 personnel. We were throwing the ball all the time. And I lost a playoff game as a high school coach, and I felt like, man, we need to run the ball more. So I started looking at some option stuff only because when you have undersized linemen, right? Like this is the first year as a coach that I've had like we have a real offensive line as a play caller, like everybody up front. Like at UNLV, we had one really good O lineman, another one who was decent. Like we weren't big in stature up front. Like we weren't moving people, right? So you had to be creative and run the options so you don't block people and have options out there. But for me, like I play receiver, so I always get confused when people say like, "Oh, you want to run the ball." Like we've always had, like at Howard, we had uh, 3 all-conference receivers. We had an all-American receiver, Jaquez Ezzard from Atlanta. Like
Yeah.
we threw for 1,000. Like Kalen threw for almost 3,000 yards. Like we throw the ball. But he was more of a running quarterback. So whoever the point guard is, right? I called a quarterback the point guard. Whoever the point guard is, we adapt the offense to him, right? So
Right.
we have a heavy pass menu, we have a heavy run menu, and we dictate that based on who's starting at quarterback, right? So if you look at UNLV, right, our guy almost throws for. He didn't even start until the 4th game. Jaden Mava, who's the starting quarterback at USC, he didn't start until
Yeah.
the 4th game, and he threw for 3,500 yards as a freshman,
Mm.
right? So
Yeah.
if you have a guy who can really throw the ball, then we throwing the ball,
You
and we'll
adapted to that.
right, we'll adapt it to who the quarterback is. So that'll always
Mhm.
be true. Like I said, we're going to make sure that we do things to put us in a position to win, not to accumulate a lot of stats. I think anybody can go out there and throw for 5,000 yards and run a whole bunch of hitches every play,
Yeah.
and end up winning, 5, 6 games, right? But you have to have a great run game. You got to be able to get in 12 personnel, get under center. You got to be able to finish and close games out with the run game. So to us, it's important to make sure we have that. So teams know that we're coming with a physical mindset. We're not out there just to throw spacing and hitches and be cute. They know that they could get punched in the mouth too.
Absolutely. Love that.
Yeah.
Coach, got another one from Vaughn Randall, longtime viewer out there. Vaughn says, Coach, how do you feel about the OL running back and wide receiver room so far? Who's the biggest and the fastest? I know that you're getting to watch strength and conditioning football coaching. It's not taking place right now. But when you just eyeballing the building, are you liking what you're seeing?
Yeah, I love our O line's mindset right now. Our O line coaches have done a really good job. Big Jeezy, Gunner, right? Like, and Dre, they've done a really good job with those guys as far as, setting a standard in that room and making sure
Mhm.
guys come in early and stay late and do the right things every day. Our O line right now, I mean, we got some hitters up there. Like it's gonna be fun as far as running behind those guys and they're really athletic as well. So the pass protection and making sure they can keep guys at the line of scrimmage so our quarterback can see. Um, I think that'll be big for us. As far as the receiver room, I mean,
Got some
Mm,
dogs out there.
we got a 4x1 track team out there. You better.
mm,
The thing that makes our receivers so good, I always say like a receiver is like a great point guard, great play. Like if you play him too close, he'll go by you, right? If you play him back, like he's gonna catch it quick and make a big play. So um, for our receiver room, they just gotta stay healthy. I mean, we got juice, like and Jay Phil and Shaw, they doing a really good job of like that mentality, that dog that you need to have to be an elite wideout.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about the wideout room. And then obviously the running backs, we got a little mix of everything in that running back room. We got physical, downhill. I'm gonna get 3 yards. I don't care if the O line block nobody. I'm gonna get 4 or 5. You know what I mean? Like those type of backs. And then we have backs that can get out of the backfield, catch the ball, and hurt you in the pass game. And then, we got guys that can do both. So that running back room is exciting as well. This is a we have a great accumulation of talent on offense. I mean, there's only one ball. The biggest thing we're teaching our guys right now is that how you play without the ball plays, doing the little details right, straining to make the plays work. Those will make the big plays work. And so for our guys, it'll be about don't count how many reps you got, but making the reps count when you get the ball, like coming alive and doing something with it, like everybody being a playmaker when they get it, because it's
Yep.
going to be hard for one guy to dominate the ball when we have so many weapons that can score on one play when they get the ball in their hands.
Yeah.
man, love
That's
that
why you have
diversity,
that
man.
quarterback there.
Couple of more from you
The
from the
decision
fans,
maker.
Coach. The good Reverend out of California, Reverend BJ Nelson. He said, Coach, you just touched on it about your teaching. He said, Coach, to implement the offense, do you teach it to everybody at the same time, or do you find yourself doing breakouts and teaching in pieces to specific units?
Yeah, so when we do an installation, we kind of do it like we basically do it all year long. So at first, I'll teach the whole right install 1, install 2. That's what we call grandma's house. So those are the plays that I know will work regardless of the talent level that we have. Like I know these plays work. Like those are plays you can hang your hat on. That's about 150 plays, right? So that encompasses everything that you need: 2-minute drill, right? Drop back, RPOs, run game. Like that's all coached in the winter, right? Then the position coaches break out and they continue to teach it and develop it in the spring, right? And we focus on that winter and spring, install 1, install 2, and then as we go to summertime, then we start to think players, not plays, right? And then we're creating plays just for specific players and their skill sets and what they can do well. We practice those throughout camp, and then we kind of can add and remove stuff based on the player skill set that we have. But the way that we teach it is I teach it first in the morning for 10 to 15, 20 minutes. And then the position coaches teach it for 10 to 15, 20 minutes. Then the players come back later in the day whenever they have free time. Then we teach it off the film, right? And we teach them right the 4 phases of learning. They teach it. We can teach it through talking it out to them, writing it on the board, them doing it through walkthroughs, run throughs, and then the video. So they get all the phases of learning to make sure that we don't believe in. I think it's bad coaching if you have a good player sitting on the sideline and you're saying he's not smart enough. That's bad coaching. We're
Well,
going to use.
so I hear you now, and I
Yeah.
believe you believe it. But when you
Yeah.
talk about
Really?
designing plays for particular players, let me tell you the one you got to do for Chico. Chico played tight end at UAB, played a little pro ball. But what you got to do with Chico now, right? We're gonna put Chico in motion, and when he get wide, you tell him to keep going all the way to the bench and sit down. And that's what you want to stretch him out to.
Stall
Right
him
there
out,
next week.
Debo. Stall him
No,
out.
right. Right. And guess what? I'll be meeting him on the bench right there where he been sitting the whole damn game.
Hey,
He
Coach, man,
already there.
the chat is fired up for you, man. We got some more fan questions. C. Maven says, Coach, with your offense scoring fast, how are you helping to influence a defense that can control tempo, win on third down, protect leads late? Any specific improvements in the trenches? How those things correlate?
Yeah, I mean, for me, like I told the kids, we gotta scrub last year off. Like I don't have any control over what happened last year. Really don't. We have an entirely new offense. We're entirely new presentation, new mindset, new strategy. Like I can't really focus on anything that happened last year, uh, because that's not anything that I had an impact on or knew the ins and outs or the reasons why. Like I just don't know about that. So all we can do is focus on what we've done. We've been really good on third downs. We've at times scored too fast. I do believe that you have to be able to kind of slow it down at times at the end of the game and hold the ball for 8 minutes. We've won a lot of games doing that. But that's why I said, like, you have to have a run game to do that. You can't sit there with 1 to 2 run plays and 10 personnel and 2-by-2 and expect to close out a game that way. Like you're not going, that's not realistic. Right. So the development of our tight ends, Coach Niblett, and, in our O-line, making sure that we can get in 12 personnel, get in 21, add an extra tackle in the game, a fullback in the game. That'll help us be able to close out games and sometimes, control the tempo in games if we see a team can't stop the run.
Nice. Now, when you was coming in, Coach, you knew that you would have and be able to work with a quarterback like Julian Lewis. When you were looking at his tape, what made you excited to have him as your quarterback coming in?
Yeah, man, I've been blessed. Like I've been on a run of like great quarterbacks. As far as arm talent, right? I always say like a receiver knows a great arm talent, right? Because that's all we care about is getting the ball, right? That's all you look at as a receiver. Like you go out there, you play tight end, you go out there and you see, oh, can he throw it? Like you just, that's all you looking at. Like you just want
that's who I want to go with. I'm going with him.
to see throw the ball. Like I want to go with him, right? And so with Jude, right? The arm talent, like he needs no help there. Like the arm talent is is significant. I mean, he's in that top percentile. He for sure has $1 million arm. So the things that he had to learn and work and develop on were more so the intangibles, right? All the little things, showing up early, staying late, being the last guy in the building, being the first guy in the building. You can't have any bad days when everybody's looking at you, right? You have to have juice. You have to have the same energy, be consistent. So those are all the things that I'm working and helping him develop. It's just all the little things of know, like you're the CEO of the program. If he does it the right way, right? If he becomes like when I was at Pitt, we had Kenny Pickett, right? At Texas, Quinn Ewers, right? So when you the right way at quarterback, right? Like Shador, right? Like here, the quarterback becomes bigger than everybody in the program. Everybody just talks about the quarterback. If the quarterback is a winning quarterback and does the right thing. So, it's just teaching them how to, understand, manage, and become that guy, right? Like not one of the guys, but the actual guy, like the top one in the country. And he has the confidence to do that because he's been that, but this is a different level and it require a different version of himself. So I'm excited about the work that he's put in right now. He's changed his morning routine and his habits in the morning. He went from half sleep walking in to now walking in with a little swag, saying what's up to everybody. So,
That's right.
hopefully I'm, rubbing off on him enough and pushing him enough to get where he's supposed to be.
Absolutely.
Love that.
And we got this one, Coach, is a comment. Vaughn Randall wanted to tell you. She says, "Thank you for sharing your testimony. You are truly a gift, and your success infinite with God's love. Go, ready." Coach, when you talk about, you said that the influence on Juju and see that change, and being able to share your testimony, and your players know that you played, and if but for injury, and how you've let God, direct you, so to speak. What does it mean to you when you hear this phrase that I hear attributed to you a lot, and former players of yours say it, your coworkers say it, that he's a player's coach?
Yeah, I always tell. I mean, I just keep it 100 with you. The only reason why I'm not a power four head coach right now is because I really don't do the politics. I really don't. I'm learning how to work on my soft skills. Um, you know,
Yeah.
because I'm really in it solely for the players. Like I really only care about the players having massive success. I heard somebody say only your dad wants you to be better than him.
Yeah.
And me, like, bro, I want my players to do like when Jordan Addison went first round and Xavier went first round. Like that's what I want the players to have uber success, to buy their house, be able to do everything they ever wanted to do. Right. So for me, like that is like it is all about the players and it's a short window of time. And I'm thinking like, how do I give this man everything that he's going to need to succeed in life, to get back up from injury, to be a good dad, to be a good husband, to be a good son? Like, how am I going to give him all this information and all the tools he'll need to succeed, to provide and earn for his family and be able to overcome adversity within this short window of time, whether that be a year, 6 months, 4 years. Like, and I don't take that for granted. Like I know when God puts me in someone's life is for a reason. It's not by chance, right? It's for me to help impact and influence and help that guy get better. And so, my coach, Gus Malzahn used to always tell me, like, you're a leader whether you know it or not. And at the time, I didn't know that I was, like, he was like, everybody follows you, whether you go left or you go right, everybody follows you. And so, that's just been something that, has been a gift for me, to be able to build those relationships with people. And what I thought was a curse on my life as a kid, moving different places every year, every 6 months, having to move, Section 8, all those different things, it really just helped my communication skills and helped me be able to connect with people and meet them where they're at, and know if I can meet them where they're at, I can help them get to where they're going, right? And so that's why all of our coaches and players share their testimony, what's their why, and we try to connect. And I say we're brothers of the struggle. So you could have my man Brick is from Portland, Oregon, right? And he shared his story from a kid from New York, and they had a similar story, and they're from completely two different worlds. One's from the suburbs, one went to private school, one's from New York, and they got closer together by like, oh man, he kind of like me. I like that dude now, like, and so I think that's kind of been my calling card as being a player's coach, and just be caring about the players. I mean, to me, you can't be a coach without players. So I don't.
Yeah.
I just struggle to see coaches not care about the kids or only care about their try to be buddy buddy with other coaches. I always say like,
Yeah.
I'm getting promoted because my players do well. I mean, like
That's a
you can
fact.
hate all you want, but the product on the field is like my players are going to play better than most people's players. Like
Right.
90% of the time, my players going to play better than your
What
players.
what teacher you see get promoted and all of their students are failing in the class?
No
Not
doubt.
many. Yeah. So great point.
Coach
Right
Marion, you touched on something, about moving around, and it reminded me of a story Coach Prime told me. And he said that he had to learn to embrace it and trust God in it, because he said, Neely, man, all the talent that I had, there's no doubt I was talented, no doubt I could do great things in the NFL, but I wouldn't stay places long. I kept moving. He said, I had to learn and understand that was God directing me for my impact, not my comfort. And I kept on like elevating and going different spaces. Meanwhile, people in my peer group were playing for one team 20 years. I was bouncing around a lot. He said, when I learned to let go and let God and trust that he was moving me for his purposes, he said, man, the world just opened up for me.
Yeah, I mean, like you got to think like everywhere, every place that I've moved in my career has been solely based off of relationships.
Mm.
Like you got my resume pulled up right here. Like, okay, I'm looking at Howard. That was because I got the Howard job because Brandon London was my teammate on the Miami Dolphins. His dad was the head coach at UVA. He let me come into a camp because of my relationship with Brandon. And boom, we spent 3 years together. I was with Mike London at Howard for 2 years and then William and Mary for a year.
Wow.
Right? I worked at Arizona State and I worked at Hawaii because my college head coach was Todd Graham. Todd Graham, when he got the Hawaii job, said, Marion, I want you here. When he was at Arizona State, he said, Marion, I want you to be here. Right? Like, that's how I got those jobs. I got to the University of Pittsburgh because of Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett was like, that's the guy we need because his trainer, me and him coached high school football together.
Wow.
And he said, that's the guy we need. That guy will make sure the receivers are right. I know that guy will get me drafted. Like that guy, that's the guy we need, coach. I didn't know the head coach. I got to the
Wow.
University of Texas because I knew Xavier Worthy since he was 14. Xavier Worthy calling me, blowing my phone up, him and his mom, like, you're going to be the next coach at Texas. I'm like, I don't know Sarkeesian. I don't know Coach Sark. I don't know nobody at Texas. He was like, Coach, come on, take the job. We're going to get you a job, Coach. Come on. And I'm like, you serious? And then the next
Wow.
day, Sark is flying out to meet me in Atlanta. And boom, I'm coaching at Texas. Right? So like all those things happen because of the relationship piece. So to me, like, when people try to be like, oh, he's cool with the players and well, that's worked for me.
Yeah.
That's been what has made me be successful is my relationship with the players. Right. And so, and then the other thing is like, I hear people chirping about like he moves so many he goes these places. Like, who would in their right mind would turn down going to the University of Texas?
Nobody.
Who would they might turn down going to Colorado or Pitt when you're from Pittsburgh, right? Like I'm from Pittsburgh. Who would turn down Pittsburgh and you're from Pittsburgh, right? Who would turn down being the offensive coordinator at UNLV? And the guy said, you're head coach of offense. You don't have, I'll never ask you anything about offense. You got it.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, when they first brought that to us, the quote unquote haters early on in your announcement, and Chico had the resume up like he did there, I said, stop acting like this guy has moved from fries at Burger King to tomatoes at Wendy's. Like this ain't that kind of can't stay nowhere. Like these are elevations. These aren't lateral moves. These are elevations based on your success. And that's the kind of people you want in your organization. You started off saying that you're not in retirement mode. I don't want anybody around me, coach, that feels like they can't go no further, that this is the best they're going to ever be and they don't want no more in life.
Right.
I learned from DMX when me and Chico partnered. I learned from DMX. You got to do like Hungry do and get you a hungry crew.
You feel me?
Absolutely. My brother had DMX perform at my 22nd birthday when I got hurt in the NFL.
Look at
And I teared up, man. DMX, I was on stage with DMX, man. Rest in peace. You said that, man. That man started praying. I started crying. I don't even know what he was praying
Yeah.
about.
Shout out to DMX.
Only
man.
one to have you cheering and crying at the same damn concert. Like, what we doing? Barking?
Chico, Coach, you got another one from C. Maven dropped in here. Coach, beyond the scheme and talent, what hidden metrics or practice habit do you track that fans never see, but you believe quietly predict whether a team or player wins or losses? Like, what do you look for? You talk about Juju being early and then leaving late. What are some of those things you look for to let you know, like, okay, I can count on that guy?
To me, like, I think the reason why me and Coach Prime connect well is on practice. Like, I believe in practice.
Yeah.
Like, I believe in just hard, getting after it. Like, I'm trying to be the absolute best in practice every day. Like, I'm trying to get better every day. Like we talked about, just being hungry. Like, seeing a dude who, if the workout says, okay, you got 5 reps, Coach, I'm gonna get 6 or 7. Coach, do an extra workout after. Like, I always say, like, you got to have almost like a psychopath. Like, you got to want it so bad that people look at you and be like, bro, what is wrong with this dude? Right? Like, I can still remember Jordan Edison calling me at midnight, catching 300 passes on the jugs. Like, Coach, what you doing? You sleep. I'm working. Like,
Yeah.
there was a reason why he's a first round pick, right? Like,
exactly. That's that separation right there.
You see what I'm saying? Like, that was the difference. Like, Kenny Pickett making sure, right, he took the linemen out every 2 days. Like, he took them out to eat once a week. Like, he made sure, like, all those little things of the extra work, right? Not just what's assigned to you. I always say the players who do just barely enough, they get those results. The ones that are jumping off the bridge, butt naked into the water, like, man, I gotta get it. I gotta make it happen. Like, I have no other option, no plan B. Those are the ones that, you look up and you go, he got drafted?
Yeah.
I watched Kalijah Cansey at Pitt, right? First round D lineman. I watched him every day train super hard, then be in the meeting room with the D line coach and watch every D lineman every day. And then he gets drafted first round and he's barely 6 foot. He's not even, he's not the prototypical size. And you know what I'm saying? It's just that mentality you gotta have. It's just different, right? Like, it's just not enough to just do the bare minimum, right? I'm trying to do above and beyond. Those are the guys that typically get everything that is out there for them.
Coach, how important is it for you to connect with your players and find their why? And then also I saw, this is like a 2-part question, I guess. I saw Coach Prime meeting with about 15 guys and talk about their work habits and how they need to bring another guy along with them. And just that'll be 30 guys, you know what I mean? So talk about the work habits also in the guys and being a leader and pulling them along. Coach, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I think the most important thing, when you talk about whys and stories and testimony, right? Like, then you become I always tell the players, I'm an accountability partner for you. Right? So for Jordan Addison, for example, I'll tell you his story, right? Like, when I first met him, his goals were very, I'm like, bro, these goals do not move anybody. It was like, Coach, I want 800 yards and 8 or 10 touchdowns this year. And I would see him every day walk past the Biletnikoff trophy and look at it. And I'm like, bro, you're not going to get it with that. And I'm like, okay, so tomorrow, think of all your wildest dreams, what you really want to accomplish. Tell me what you really want to become. And he's like, he came back the next day. He said, Coach, I want to win the ACC championship this year. I want to be a first round pick. I want to win the Biletnikoff. I want to have, 1,000 yards and over 1,000 yards and over, 12, 15 touchdowns this year. Okay. And I said, all right, here's the plan for you to do this. You need to catch 150 passes a day extra. You need to
extra.
Right. You need to, he was 60 at the time. I'm like, you need to do everything the dietitian tells you as far as gaining weight. You need to get to at least 170. You need to, like, I'm giving them all the little details. You need to come in and watch film every day. You need to be able to draw up the plays like a quarterback, right? Like, you need to be able to know every receiver's route on the field. So now I can move you around and you can be wherever the ball is going. You can be the quarterback's first read every time, right? And I'm like, you have the talent to do that. Like, you're that special. Right. And so that year he goes on, wins the Bolitnikov, right? We win the ACC championship, right? And he's living his best life, right? First round pick, like all the things that he wanted, he got accomplished, right? Retired his mom, family lives good. They travel in the world. Like, to me, that's why that testimony, that's why that why matters. When you say your mom is your why, then why are you not working hard? If mom is working 2 jobs, why we got to motivate you to come to practice if mom's working 2 jobs? If you say you want to retire mom, you're not going to retire mom, half-assing it. You got to really bring it every day.
Oh, you preaching. Oh, you
Yes,
preaching.
indeed. If we had a
Yeah.
we'd hit it. Coach, let's get a little serious and probably a little personal real quick. Talk about some of your tough as a player, former player, you play at a high level. Talk about how some of your toughest moments have shaped you and have gotten you in the position that you are in right now.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, when I was a kid, I was like the little league superstar, right? I was the kid that scored 4 or 5 touchdowns a game. We was, like, when you're, I always tell people this story so you can visualize how poor we were. Okay. Football was $25 when I was a kid. My older brother was like, Brennan is the one. My older brother's like, bro, I'm telling my mom, like, you gotta, like, he's killing. My older brother's 6 years older than me.
Wow.
And he's like, he's killing my friends. Like, mom, he's out here killing dudes. Like, and I'm like 6 or 7 at the time, right? I'm young. And my mom is like, man, that boy's too small. He can't play no football. Like, he gonna get hurt. Da, 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 da. Like, I don't got no money for that. Y'all tripping. And so, like, a week later, my brother got me like training with a brick full of book bag. He put bricks in a book bag. I'm running around the project building, training. And he's like, we just gonna keep training, right? We're gonna keep getting ready, and mom gonna give you a check. Like, we're gonna find a way. My brother was like, even if I gotta steal this money, we're gonna find a way to get you on the still. Right. And so my mom comes in the house like a week later and she throws the $25 at my brother, like, he better be good. Because I'm gonna be able to pay the lights. Like, our lights was out.
Yeah.
That's what we was in. Right. And so I remember the first game I had 5 touchdowns. I tell the players this story I looked at my mom every touchdown. I'm looking at her like, I told you, like, I'm the one, And so adversity hit really bad for us. When I hit like 5th grade, 6th grade, my mom had been with a guy for a really long time. They got a divorce, like, and stuff got bad. I started working in nightclubs with my mom. I started doing a lot of different stuff that wasn't on the right track. And so, we're moving every year, and we're moving from like the worst project in the city to the next worst project in the city. Like, we're in Paddock, we're in Homewood, we're in Wilkinsburg. These are some of the neighborhoods you don't want to go to in Pittsburgh. This ain't the South Side, North Shore. Like, this ain't where you want to be. And so we're moving around different places. And, the best thing that happened to me was when my grandma passed away when I was in 10th grade. She was like, she grabbed my hand, and that was my baby. That was like my safe place. You know what I mean? Like, that was like the one for me. That was the champion for me. Right. She grabbed my hand and she's like, she only asked me to do 2 things. She said, you could try to have a relationship with your dad, because me and my dad up until that point had no really communication relationship. She's like, please try to, at least be his friend, talk to him. And then she said, just make something of yourself. Because at that time, man, if I'm being honest with y'all, at 15, right? I mean, dudes was I had friends making 5 to 10 grand a day hustling, right? Like, why am I in school? Like, these dudes is getting to it. Like, what am I doing? Right? Like, I'm 140 pounds. Like, I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not thinking I'm going to college to play football. And like, I'm thinking like, I'm about to be in these streets getting this money, right? Like, that's where my mindset is at 15. My grandma passes away. And then I really started focusing back on school, right? Like then I started trying to get my grades together. And then, another adverse situation, I had to put my mom in a shelter. She had been with a domestic violence situation. And, I pulled a gun on this dude and thought, man, maybe I should end this guy's life, for hitting my mom. And then I just heard my grandma in my ear, like, baby, don't do it. And I
Yeah.
just remember shaking, like, and, I had made the decision there. On that day, I knew, like, all right, I'm going to be successful. I put my mom in the shelter and I was like, I didn't try to be the perfect angel and protect my mom, be her angel and go through all the stuff with her. And I was like, I'm a man now. Like, bro, you got to man up and figure out how you're going to do this. So I transferred high
Yeah.
schools on my own. I called a coach out of school where my brother went to school because he was older than me. I went to play basketball for that coach. He helped us get an apartment. I had a little bit of money stashed away, helped start the apartment. My mom put some money towards it. Like we got in a new situation, went to a high school, graduated from there. But because I had transferred so many times, my classes and all that, I went out to junior college in California. And my older brother did something for me that was so special. To this day, I can still hear him doing it for me. I was living in the locker room struggling, right? Like we ain't got no money. Like I'm living in the locker room, California JUCO. You don't have dorms or a scholarship or anything like that. So I'm living in the locker room. My brother comes to a game. I just had like 3 touchdowns. I'm going crazy. Mind you, like I'm had a 3.0 in school. Like I'm killing it in school. I'm killing it on the field. I was an All-American this year. I led California junior colleges in all stats, right? Like I was like the guy, right? And so my brother's like, I'm like, bro, I need some money, dog. I'm hurting. I'm tired of living here. Like, I at least could stay in a hotel or something. And he's like, adversity just makes the story better, dog. Like, I'm gonna give you a gift card. He said, you're doing good. You just had 3 touchdowns today. Like, you good. Like,
Yeah.
you eating? You good? You gotta play. Like, you good. He gave me a gift card to Safeway. And I was like, at the time, I was like, man, that's cold as hell. Like, this dude got like, I'm like, bro, help me out. He's like, nah, man, you just need some food. Here's a food gift card. Adversity makes a story better. And
Wow.
so now, anytime I go through anything, I just hear my older brother in the back of my head, because that was my dad growing up, right? Like that was the
Yeah.
one who football. That was the one who my older brother he got a scholarship to Purdue, academic scholarship to Purdue. So I had to do something because my older brother did something, right? Like
Yeah.
I had to become something because he was like my hero, right? And so um when I faced adversity, obviously I was projected a first, second, third round pick as a senior at Tulsa, tear my ACL, the last game, conference championship game.
Yep.
I mean, at the time, I didn't already had, that's before, NIL and all that. Like I'm in debt. Like I didn't, because they telling me like you're guaranteed gonna get first or second round. So,
So
I
you're acting like
I'm,
it.
I'm living. Yeah, I'm thinking like, man, I got it all figured out.
Yeah.
And I had my plan made up in my head, what house I was going to buy my mom, what I was like. I had already had the money spent, and tear my ACL, and they told me my ACL would never be right, like it would never be the same. And I'm hard headed, young. I'm thinking like I had never been hurt before. I'm like
Yeah.
I'm good. Like, I don't hear nothing y'all talking about. I went to the NFL Combine. They told me the same thing at the Combine. Like the doctors, to get up there in your underwear. The doctors checking your knee. They're like, dog, I don't know. Your knee don't feel right. Like the Dolphins gave me an opportunity. I went down there for a visit. My man, Bill Parcells, shout out to Jeff Ireland and Bill Parcells. Bill Parcells says he loves Pittsburgh guys because they're tough, Pittsburgh and Jersey guys.
Mm.
An opportunity down there. I worked my way into the starting lineup there. I'm starting, right? Like I'm running with the ones. I tear my ACL again, warming up in camp. And so the same thing, it just plays in my head of like adversity, right?
Story better.
Just makes the story better. And I'm gonna find a way. And so I get the training, right? And I'm thinking, like, man, I'll probably go back into the league. The NFL lockout happens. I coached for a year. My boy is like, because at this time, like, I'm still like, I don't got a lot of Jesus. Like, like I don't really have a you know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
have that. I'm not vertically aligned at this time. You
Sure.
know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
still trying to figure it out, right? Like, and so I'm back and forth, out partying every night. I'm from Miami to LA, back Pittsburgh, just I'm all over the place. I'm partying, I'm drinking. You give a kid 21, 22 years old who ain't never had nothing, right? I'm on a 7-figure contract, getting paid every week. I'm like, I'm living my best life. One of my friends was like, bro, you should coach. I was like, man, F them kids. I'm not coaching right now. Like, I'm not coaching nobody. You know what I mean?
FTK, man, them kids.
I got a 745. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm good, bro. I'm not coaching no kids right now.
Right.
And I'll never forget, I went to that field, man, and I was depressed, struggling. Right. I went to that. I just had my daughter. Right. I'm a young dad. Like, I went to that field, and them kids was looking at me like, man, teach me, coach me. Like, you in the NFL, dog, you could do, like, show me how to. And I just never forgot that feeling of like, man. So I always tell the kids, like, I needed the kids more than they needed me.
Yeah,
At
they
that
saved
time,
you.
yeah, the kids saved me. Like, right. And I had a kid, like, I'll never forget this kid. And he's a preacher now in Oakland. And he's Muslim. And I remember, like, my faith was kind of shaken at the time, right? Like, when you're going through as much adversity as I was going through and the way that I was living, and like, my faith was shaken, right? I knew God had a plan for me, but I didn't know if it was, like, I didn't know what the plan was at the time, right? And so I'll never forget coming in the house one day. I let this kid stay with me. He was staying with his dad. His dad is a comedian, like a famous comedian now, Mario Hodges. And he had just got out of jail. He was trying to take care of all his boys. And this dude was being like a real dad. Like, I love this dude for the type of dad he was being. He had like 5 or 6 boys living in a suburban. Like, they was living in a car and they was figuring it out. And I was like, bro, I can't take all your kids, but I'll take your son that's playing football for us right now. Because we had the kids do their testimonies and they why. And that's why I do this every year. Because at James Logan, my first coaching job, that changed my life, hearing those kids' stories and they whys. Because at the time, I'm complaining like my life is bad. I'm making $30,000 every 2 weeks. Like, how's my life bad?
Yeah.
My life ain't bad. It was bad, but it's not bad. I'm making it be bad, right? And so when that kid came to live with me, Quran was the kid's name. They were Muslim. I would see him praying 5 times a day, every day. And I'm like, man, I'm living wild as hell. I'm not talking to God. I'm complaining. I'm thinking like my life is over. Like, I'm even like messed up to the point where, like, I don't even want to live. Like, I'm thinking like, if I can't play football, dog, like, I don't want to. Like, what am I gonna do? And I just remember watching him every day, and every time he would pray, I would just kind of sit there, and he'd be like, he put his mat out, like, to discipline. Like, this dude is living in
Dedicated to
his
it.
thoughts.
Discipline. Yeah.
The discipline to pray every day, to have a smile on his face, to be like, I'm good. Yeah. He don't got a dollar to his name. He don't know when, like, nothing. And that really straightened me up, man. That really got me away from the party and away from the nonsense. And I was like, man, I got to lock in. And so what I did was I tried to go play football one more time. I tore my ACL up there the first day. I'll never forget. I went to Canada. I tore my ACL up there like the first practice.
Damn.
As I'm in the hospital room, the Cowboys called me like, hey, we wanted to work you out next week. How you doing? Because this is during like the NFL lockout, and they just opened up. And I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
And I remember being in that hospital room and just going like, look, Dad, I'm going to just go all in on this coaching thing. I'm going to let this football thing go. Maybe God don't want me to do this. I'm going to try this coaching thing and go all in on this coaching thing. I got back to California and I just started coaching. I mean, I'm coaching anybody for free, anywhere. Hey, Doc, you want to work? Boom, let's go. And I just started building it up. And I was at this school with these billionaires. It's called the Harker School, Harker Academy. We have 7 billionaires on our team, families who have, that type of money. And I remember them just telling me every day, like, Coach, you shouldn't be here. You should be a college coach. You should be a high school head coach. Like, you too good to be here with us. And that's when I just started applying for high school head coaching jobs and got one. And, that's what I said. Like, you don't even be wanting to do things, and God will move you to somewhere that you didn't even fit. Right. But if you have that mind, like, this adversity is just going, like, this adversity is helping me. It's not it's hindering me or crippling me. It's helping me get to where I want to get.
Yeah.
It's not stopping you. It's not stopping you. It's strengthening you.
Yeah. If people will learn, Chico, what you just said in life, that more times than not, the path is the adversity. a lot of people see adversity as that's directing me to go another way, when actually the adversity is leading you to where you're supposed to go. Like if you face it and go through it, it's the other side of it that's the promotion. But if you spend your life taking the opposite fork in the road, the one without the adversity, not only does not get you where, it's going to still lead to adversity. You can't avoid it.
Come right back around to
It's crazy. I mean, if you looked at all I've done is tried to give kids the work ethic and mentality I had to make it out of Section 8, to make it out of the locker room and living in the press box. Right. And I say, like, if I give that to a talented kid and he takes it, they become All-Americans. They get drafted first round. They get big NIL deals. It's because I'm just giving them the mentality and the work ethic I had to get out of the situation that I was in.
Yeah.
I didn't have a dad. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have a coach who was like, bro, we got to work. Here we go. This got to work for you. Here's the plan. Like, right. I didn't get that until I got to the University of Tulsa. I had like really two coaches, right, that gave me like the game, right? The game within the game, like really taught me how to, elevate. Most of the coaches that I had, because of all the adversity I was going through as a kid, they really were just nice guys to me, right? They just put their arm around me. Did you eat today? Right. And that's important. But you also need somebody who gives you a strategy. You're a man, right? You got to provide, you got to protect, you got to earn, right? Somebody who can put that dog in you, right? And that's why I love Coach Prime from the standpoint of, like, I told him, dog, like, it's great that you're Deion Sanders and Prime, like you as my hero as a kid, looking at you as, man, 21. I remember getting yelled at from my mom, like, you can't like the Cowboys. We from Pittsburgh, boy. You like you like the Steelers. Like, you can't like that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but I love Coach Prime from the standpoint of like the humility to be that guy and to go all the way as a kid from little league to the NFL through all the different phases. Right? Like, how humble is that dude? That's what I look at people like. I like humility of people.
Yeah. And I mean, Coach, is similar to you, and I see why y'all click, because people who see you or know you or don't think they know you, and they see your vibe in the videos with the hat, they would have never known or guessed what you have been through to get to where you are, because you don't wear it like that, and man, what you share with us today, I see the chat and the audience is on fire about it. Like, it's an amazing testimony, and it just lets people know, man, like, everybody got a story. People have been through things to get where they are. And if you're avoiding going through things, you ain't gonna get nowhere. Like, the common ground is you got to go through something.
Yeah, the other day I told the players, like, if you're in this room right now, if you're in the building, if you have a Colorado Buff shirt on, you're not regular.
No.
Something in you. There's something in your heart, your spirit, your mind, right? Somebody who raised you that got you in this room, right? Like, you had something in you that said, like, I'm not going to be average. I'm not going to stay home. I'm not going to be just one of those guys. I'm trying to be the guy, right? And so everywhere I go, that's just the reflection on trying to get people to understand, like, don't turn your light off. Like my grandma, like, this little light of mine, right? You sing it in church, right? Like, it's your light shine. You know what I mean? And like, a lot of people turn that off.
Man, speaking of songs, I'm sitting here doing this interview with you, and then what I'm reminded of, if you don't know me by now, you will never know me, because y'all done got to know this dude today.
Definitely.
We got a football question for you, Coach, popped up from the life of Orlando looked like. Sorry if I got it wrong. He said, hey, Coach, I've noticed that many teams have tried to heavy blitz your offense as a means to slow it down. What have you learned about your offense going against those type of defenses, and how does that help you adjust your offense?
Yeah, I mean, that's really predicated on, like, we had a lot of success at UNLV with teams that blitz. They actually stopped blitzing us and they just played zone from the standpoint of, you need an elite passer when teams are going to blitz you and make them pay in spots, right? Like, we've also had success when teams blitz a lot by being able to run the ball when teams don't think you're going to run the ball in those blitz situations. So to me, like, people can, they judge me or whatever from the standpoint of whatever. But I don't think a lot of people, if you actually know football and understand talent level, and there's levels to where you're at, right? Like,
Yeah.
For example, okay, I love Chip Kelly to death. Okay, I think he's a brilliant offensive mind. He went from UCLA calling plays, struggling at UCLA. They were doing some good things on offense. He goes to Ohio State, where they have the best roster, wins the national championship.
Mm.
Same philosophy, same mindset. Boom. Right? Just like me, I was at William and Mary. We had all freshmen and walk-ons. We win like 5 or 6 games. I go to UNLV and call plays with a little bit better of caliber of player, right? We win 20 games in 2 years and go back-to-back conference championship games, back-to-back bowl games. We beat Cal in the bowl game. We beat Kansas. We beat Houston, right? We beat Big 12 teams with that team. So I think the thing that you have to look at is like when you're looking at a play caller is like, is he maximizing the people that he has, right? Getting the best out of those players. Is he putting a scheme where they have a chance to go win games, right? Because it's still a player's game at the end of the day, right? Like the dude has to catch that ball. He has to make that block. He has to make that guy miss in space. And when playing better caliber of players, I remember we played Michigan and everybody thought our offense would be terrible at UNLV because we played Michigan and they held us to 7 points. But they held everybody in the Big Ten to 7 points that year, national championship.
Exactly.
Right? Everybody was looking like, man, what are we going to do on offense? We're going to be so terrible. Like, man, they struggle. There's levels to this, right? That's why they have Power Four and Group of Five and FCS and D2. Like they have different levels, right? Different level of players, right? Then we went and played Vanderbilt the next week at UNLV and we beat Vanderbilt, SEC program. Then we went on where we scored like, I think for like 6 games straight, we scored 40 plus points, 6 or 7 games straight. But that Michigan game was the best thing for us because we got smacked in the mouth and we didn't quit. And the players knew, okay, this is what the top looks like.
Yeah,
I work harder if I'm going to see if we be able to play with guys like this. And every one of those players started working harder because they felt that feeling of getting embarrassed, getting beat, right, against a top tier team, right?
It's another level.
There's levels to this. There's a progression of it, right? And fans are, as fans of teams, I only root for one team because I say no team pays my bills, right? Other than the team that I'm coaching, I root for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm from Pittsburgh, right? Like, got to go for the Steelers. You want your team to win every game, and we have unrealistic expectations, but there is a progression to each team, to each player, and each level that you're at.
Yeah. One of the things I loved about that Michigan run you spoke of, when you look at that team when they got to the finals, you're talking about the final 2 teams that year averaged 2 penalties a game. Like good teams don't beat themselves, in other words. It's like they not only got, like you said, these levels, the discipline to do the right thing at the right time is another thing people miss out on. And that's one of those details Coach Prime is big on, is like, we cannot continue to be the most penalized team. And that's why being on time to meetings and not having your phone out and checking in for lunch, all those little details matter because it shows up in the games.
Yeah, I mean, that team, you got to think it's depth as well, right? Like, how many really good people do you have? So when we played Michigan, their 2s and 3s that played the second half against us, they started when they played Bama and them, right? Like those guys that were 2s and 3s on the D line, they were starters in the game. So I think we gave up 5 sacks in that game, and the head coach is like, "We need to switch our pass protections." I'm like, "Coach, did you just see that D line? What's that?"
Yeah, they beat him. Like it was somebody to block him, but he beat him.
Like, we got a little freshman guard, Johnny, out there trying to, he's doing his best. Dude's just running right through his face. I'm like, be fine, right? And that they had
bigger, stronger, faster teams to win.
Yeah, they had like 7 sacks on Bama, right? So I'm like, little UNLV gave up 5. They had 7 sacks on Bama, like 6, 7 sacks on Bama. So I'm like,
we actually did a good job.
Right?
Yeah. Hey,
Coach,
so
man,
with the talent that Colorado has. Hold on, real quick. Last one. With the talent that Colorado has amassed, you guys have put together, and picked out these guys, handpicked these guys, right? Talk about just executing with these guys and processing the game and making those decisions as a quarterback with Julian Lewis and the other stable quarterbacks. Talk about how you teach them and to speed up that processing and decision making as the quarterback position.
Yeah, I think the first thing that we've done a really good job of on both sides of the ball is connecting guys, right? Like the connectivity, building a relationship, because like these kids do want to like each other, right? They do want to be friends. They do want to have camaraderie, chemistry. It's hard to build chemistry, and you should be in this spot. You should run the route this way. If he's this way, like it's hard to say, okay, I'm gonna help you block here if I don't know you. Like if I look over there and I'm like, I don't know who this guy is. I don't, right? So like making them actually talk to each other, making them actually be in here, a lot throughout the day together and spending that time together, because that's what love is, right? Time,
Mm-hmm.
right? Making them spend that time together will make those little details and those little things that we need to win a game in a 2-minute drill, right? To finish and victory, right? It's all those little things that add up to the big things. As you know, it's hard to win. Like I
Yeah.
told you guys the other day, like we're going to celebrate every win. Like it is hard to win in college football, right? And so that's what we're trying to work on. We're going from the love piece, right? The good vibe and the good energy that we have, the discipline that every player is shown. Like it's starting to become self-discipline. I tell the
Yeah.
kids all the time, I wake up every day at 4 a.m. You can ask my wife, I wake up every day at 4 a.m. with no alarm clock. She
Yeah.
practice like every day. I'm gonna wake up with no alarm clock. If I wake up earlier than that, I need to set an alarm clock.
Mm.
I'm gonna wake up at 4, like I'm late. What I need to
Yeah.
do? Oh,
Yeah. Something
exactly.
I gotta
Great. Like let's get it. Right? Like that's because of right now that's self-discipline. We got to get
mm-hmm.
the trains from coach told me to do it, that I'm doing it. I got it. Right. And then now the next piece of that is them becoming enamored with doing the work over and over and over again and making sure it's perfect, like the execution piece of it. And those are all those little things that we'll get in spring ball. But I always say, like at UNLV, when we won all those games, we won 11 games that year, my last year there in 24, we had 100% of the team work out player-led leadership on their own without a coach telling them to do.
Yeah.
They did it 3 days a week in the summer on their own, without a coach, the players did it on their own. At Pitt, when we won a championship, the players did player-led practices on their own without a coach. We won the ACC, right? Like they have to transition from being forced to do things to we want to.
I think his phone might have died.
So,
I got a
somebody
phone
might have
call.
called him, or his phone died right there. One or the other right there. Well, either one. Hey, so far to this point, as we was about to end, he gave us an amazing interview right there. Some great insight personally and professionally, and what he's looking to do with the Colorado Buffaloes this upcoming season. As it looked like the chat is excited, we should all be excited about Coach Brennan Marion.
Yes, sir. We told y'all it was coming, and there it was. Sit down with offensive coordinator B. Marion. Man, what an interview, Chico. Like in depth.
Oh, he's still there. You go. He's back. There we go.
We'll let him finish up that thought there. Coach,
There
you
we
back
go.
with us, man. We know look like you got a phone call or something. A text popped up.
Yeah, Ernest Campbell about to run track in here in a minute, so I got to go downstairs and watch him run this track meet.
Yes, indeed. That's your
Yes,
speedster
sir.
right there, Sac State.
That's right. That's right.
Well,
Yeah.
man, we appreciate the time you gave us, Coach. I'll be there next week. Looking forward to getting me a beaver hat.
That's right. We'll get you right.
Just make sure it's about that small for him.
Here you go. Coach, man, we appreciate your time, man. We'll let you get out of here, get down to the indoor track there.
Yes, indeed.
And we'll be having more conversations across the spring as we get into spring ball. Bring you exclusive coverage from Coach Prime and his staff. Y'all know what to do, man. We appreciate you, Coach, man. Absolutely.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank y'all, man. Appreciate you.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Love.
All right. Coach Brennan Marion,
Yes, sir.
Colorado Buffaloes offensive coordinator. Hey,
And this is one, Chico. If you got to hype this one up when this one go off.
yeah.
Like you
got to clip this one, hype it up, and everything. Make sure you tag us when you clip us, though, at least. Goodness gracious. But, hey,
Sure.
amazing interview, dog. Y'all should have learned a lot. I had so much more to ask him, but I was just
Chico, it's not the last time we're gonna talk to him.
great job, man. Great damn.
I mean, can the man go to work?
You know what I love though?
Had the man a damn hour.
I like when he play the music in the meeting rooms for the offense. You know, just keep them light and to show them that, man, I can connect with you guys too. I listen to I like some of the music that y'all like too. You know, players like that, dog. Players like that. So shout out to Coach Brennan, man. I'm sure you're gonna get the most out of his offense this season. All right. 10 days away from spring.
Yeah. One more week, and then spring ball officially starts on March 2nd, and will culminate with that 15th practice that has been announced April 11th for the spring game. Saturday, April 11th at Folsom Field will be the spring game. So spring ball is here, 1 week away, and we'll be doing the damn thing. Uncle will be back on site. The morning run will still be in effect. UNK Chico Live will still be in effect. And of course, exclusive interviews with players and coaches will continue. That the only place you can find them on is the pregame network with Big Dog Chico Speed Hustle TV. A lot of supers dropped in. Weren't able to get to all of them, but we make sure the next time we sit down with them, we got a stockpile. We will, so they're not going anywhere. Chico,
hey, y'all stay tuned next week. Also, I can announce now. Tuesday, Prime Parents, Preston Ashley's mom would join. Prime Parents, Preston Ashley's mom. Y'all seen Preston Ashley, the super freshman that's cornerback with the Colorado Buffaloes. Saw him featured in the video this past week, and you get to see his mindset, see how his mentality and stuff. So gonna talk to his mom and find out and talk to his why. That's what we're gonna do. Prime Parents Tuesday going down.
And y'all get ready. You see it on the screen right there. Renee saying, I can't believe we're not at 121 yet. We sit here right now,
right there
at 120, 928.
Damn.
129.28. So less than 80 away. That's 72 away. And once we cross 121, we are doing an exclusive live interview with Coach Prime, where the link will be dropped and you get to join on the screen and ask questions. But guess what, Chico?
What is it, Unc?
You got to be a member to do it. So this is the time to join both channels, get the memberships in, because that interview will be taking place sometime in early March.
Mm-hmm.
And that sounds like a long way away, but early March is next week.
Right around the damn corner. And it's going down.
Yeah. In a major
way. You're damn right. Y'all know what to do. Hit the like, subscribe, coming out, other good stuff. Shout out to Miss Denise Smith, your insurance provider. If she's not, she need to be. Y'all make sure y'all give her a call, 303-343-3515, and tell her that UNK Chico sent ya. You understand
Absolutely.
me? Go to unclechico.myshopify.com.
Just go to Safe D Smith. That's not Safe TTY. That's Safe with a D. SafeDSmith.com. Hit her up there as well, Chico.
That's right. That's damn right. We appreciate y'all joining us. Make sure you go to the website, get you some t-shirts and things of that nature. You're going to see our faces on there. Appreciate you joining us. This has been another.
That dude next to the run, look, that's a handsome fella there.
Yeah. That's what they always say. We need a monthly segment, UNK Chico. What y'all need a monthly segment on? Stay tuned. Hey, become a member. You'll get it. All right? You'll get the monthly segment.
Hey, I saw one quick thing before we get out here, Chico, because this is how you do it right here. This is thinking outside the box. Freedom Genesis said, let me make sure my other account is following. If you have multiple accounts, which a lot of us do on YouTube, if you have another account, make sure that you have subscribed from both accounts. That's
No. He said for both accounts? No.
For all your accounts.
No. Subscribe from both of them. They understand that, Unc. Subscribe from both of them.
Yeah, subscribe from the way
all of them.
Both of them. Yeah, look, we 72 away, dog. You 72 away. 72 away, and you get to be on screen with Prime. And I'm calling it right now, Chico.
What'd you call it?
It's like when you cut the lights on in the Selma projects, the roaches scatter. Watch the haters are not going to come on the screen and ask no questions. Watch Chico.
Why you say Selma projects like it's any different from any other project? Well, I'm trying to.
Because the reason I said Selma projects is it was out of respect. Because in the Jackson projects, the roaches don't run when you cut the lights on. They're like, "What up? You need some? Hand me a bill." At least it's Silva.
You
to
coming
rush
in
the
their
nigga
space.
out of there.
You coming in their space in Jackson. Like, hold on. Why you turn the lights on?
You in my house. Got that damn light off. How's this bill is?
Oh, man. So excited for the upcoming season. Thank you, UNK Chico. We appreciate y'all. Y'all flood us with some comments real quick before we get up out of here. Run them engagement up. You feel me? Shelly said she loved this interview. Mr. B said he on that drink. Appreciate that, Von Rondo. And everybody else checking in. Y'all, hey, y'all gonna make us keep on coming. If y'all want us to keep on coming, we gonna keep on. All right. Peace in the Middle East. Thank y'all for coming out. Y'all make sure y'all go to mybookie.com or mybookie.ag. Let me get it right. Mybookie.ag is where you need to be. And use promo code BIWGDOW. That's big dog.
Smell your mic. What's your mic smell like?
My mic smell good.
Yeah, okay.
Good and terrible.
That's what you said.
Good and terrible.
Good and terrible. This is the trash. Donation. Donation.
Don't be hitting on me, Clarence.
Damn trash.
Tall black motherfucker. Your ass up in here. All right, we're gonna be up in about it. Peace and Middle East. Thank y'all for coming out. Yeah. Morning run.
This is crazy. Hey, while that countdown going out, if you're still in here, hit that like button. Hit the like button. When it goes off, get ready to hit the hype button. Stop playing with your boys. And almost 900 man. Hit the like button.
Hit the like. Hit the like, please. Hit the like. Get to the chopper.
Von Randall, I am not changing the sheets. I have no reason to change the sheets. If ain't nobody grown daughter coming over here, it's just me.
Lord Jesus. Somebody help them, please. Chocolate Scott. Black Fist Hot. Flash, that's damn right.
Play that music, Chico. Take us out of here.
Yeah, y'all. You. Someone to give. Someone to miss. Lonely hours and moments like this. To be loved. To be loved. Oh, what a feeling. To be loved.
F you. Yes, F you too.